You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
All right, it's another edition of the Windy City Bender podcast. We are in the middle of a action-packed pandemic, action-packed week. The world's on fire. You know, it should be opening week for NHL. We should be having hockey, meaningful hockey to be watching right now. But you know what? We'll trade that in for the NHL draft and free agency in like 48 hours. 48 hours, give or take.
Hell yeah.
So, Tanner, what's up, bud?
Still in New Mexico. What's up? It's okay. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to head back.
Coming back
to Chicago.
Don't do it.
I don't really want to, but I got to see if I can just show up to like a training camp or something in these next couple months, and maybe the Hawks will pick me up.
Yeah, well, after, probably, 11 and 12, 13 years of eligibility, our names still have yet to be called in the NHL draft.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just sign as a UFA at this point. But I'll take a minor league deal. I don't care.
Toss me a couple grand, I'll fucking play. Let's go.
Yeah.
So a lot to talk about. It's just crazy because there's never, at least when I don't think there's ever been a time period where the draft and free agency is literally within a 4-day period.
Oh, they usually kind of are, but within a couple or like a week of the finals ending.
It's usually like
you have some time to figure out what you're going to do with your team if you're the Lightning.
Yeah.
But like I said last week, though, just speaking of the Lightning, Stamkos is not on the list of 4 players that are untouchable.
Yeah, what was that? Hedman, Point,
Kucherov, and Vasilevsky.
Yeah, that's a solid core. I'd stick with them too. But holy shit, there is just a lot to talk about. So let's start with the draft.
Yeah.
No
I was
shockers.
a little bit disappointed. Yeah, I was a little disappointed there was no like actual trades. There was trades during the draft, but it was like picks for picks, Yeah. There was a couple trades made beforehand where like some picks got traded, like Matt Murray got traded for a second rounder, like 52nd overall.
Second rounder.
Because
yeah.
Ottawa had like 1,000 fucking picks. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have like 4 second rounders, so you can have 1, and then we'll give 2 this way. And it's just like, all right. Because they drafted up, or they traded up in the second round, too, and they tossed out like 2 second rounders or something like that.
Yeah, so Ottawa Senators picked up Matt Murray from the Penguins for forward John Gruden and a 2020 second-round pick, which ended up being 52nd overall.
Yeah. Good for them, but they still did. Wait, they haven't said they signed him or anything yet. They're still working that out.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that, but like we were talking in our text, whatever they sign, it's going to be an overpay.
Absolutely.
But it's got to, Ottawa's going to have to overpay, I think, a lot for a decent amount of guys. Although I think they made some really good steps. Like this team is going to be like, here's what thing too. This team's has some potential to be good, but their owner can just fucking ruin it. Like,
oh, absolutely.
And that's the scary thing about players. Them. Yeah, exactly.
It's, I don't know. They definitely got a lot better, and they should be, because they had like 7 picks in the first like 3 rounds.
Dude, that was insane.
They had 3 first-round picks, and 2 of them are 3rd and 5th, and they got Tim Stützle and was it? Oh no.
Let me pull it up.
It was Jake Sanderson, because they didn't go.
Let's power pause for one quick second and talk about who they picked, but let's talk about their jerseys.
Oh yeah.
I was like, when I saw
when they were
going back to the 2D, I was like, no, come on. But then seeing like the actual like jersey with the Adidas and everything like that, I was like, damn, those are actually sick.
Like every team's going old school. Calgary's going old school too.
Calgary's going old school. Except for Vegas. Vegas is doing that glittery gold with their 3rd. I think Vegas can't go old school.
Oh, yeah, no, they're trying to. They're doing a whole different kind of school, and it ain't nice. That's just it's so gaudy and bad, but it's like so Vegas though. Like,
yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Can you imagine them wearing those jerseys on ice and then everyone in the stands also wearing those jerseys?
Oh yeah, I mean that's
It's
exactly
gonna.
what they're doing. Like,
Oh God. But
um,
yeah, I was right. Jake Sanderson,
yeah,
5th overall, and then they had like late 20s. Yeah, they got the pick from trading JGP
yeah,
to the
28th
Islanders,
overall.
and they got another kid, and then they got the 30. They have the 33rd because that's rightfully theirs, and then I believe they traded up again. Yeah, and then they they traded for the 44th pick. So they had 5 picks before the 50th overall pick. It's like,
Jesus.
yeah, that's, and especially in such a deep draft, they did a good job.
Like they definitely, I mean, they needed to fill their prospect pool up again, and I think yeah, they did a great job of doing that. Um, yeah, I'm just looking at the results here, and I always forget the Coyotes forfeit pick number 49.
Yeah.
God, what a fucking joke! Their first pick didn't come until the 4th round.
Hey, but they got Taylor Hall, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, what is it? Like, I was getting excited when during the first round, they're like, oh, we have a trade to announce. And it's like, oh, the Flames have traded their their 19th pick for the Rangers for 2 picks. It's like, lame. And then it's like the Flames come up again. They're like, we have a trade to announce. The Flames have traded their 22nd pick to Washington for 2 picks. I'm like, God damn it, dude! Like, do something cool. Didn't really happen. Like, fucking just more pick trading. No like players involved really.
Yeah, and it's like that's what like I did a really corny post on the Instagram page. It's like what we want, and it's that kid screaming anarchy from Talladega Nights. And
Yeah.
then what we really get is the boring professor from Ferris Bueller. And it's like as corny as that was, as bad as that was, but it's like it was the perfect representation of like what we got. And I think that's like the worst thing about the NHL draft. It's like every MLB is trash too. I mean, nobody cares about the MLB draft.
Does
But
anybody watch the MLB
no,
draft?
and
Is it even like
I
broadcast?
don't even think they're allowed to trade picks in the MLB draft.
What?
Yeah, but it's like the
I have to fact check that, but
I don't know. I never heard of like a pick being traded. So yeah, I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Don't like take that to the grave. But I don't recall ever seeing a draft pick being traded in MLB. But NBA, and NFL, like their drafts are fun because it's like it feels like every other pick there's some sort of move or there's a big name being tossed out there, and it's just you don't have that excitement with the NHL draft, which makes the league a bit. I mean, the league loses with that.
I think that player or like teams have just like feel like I guess I would assume they might feel like a little bit snake bitten for doing drafts or doing trades during the draft because like I mean what happened like years ago we traded Shaw for 2 seconds and one of those ended up being DeBrincat,
Yeah.
and that's like one thing that I always loved. I don't know, but like I guess it doesn't really happen too often that like a player gets traded for like the picks. I just feel like it should happen more often.
It happens. I mean, when it does happen, it's trade deadline. It's
Yeah.
like yeah. So it's like yeah, it does. I mean, so it does happen. It's just there's something about like I remember when me and Potes went to the draft when it was in Chicago, and there was just something about like when they're like, oh, we have a trade to announce, and it's like, oh, all right, let's go, and then it's like
Yeah.
this pick for this pick, and it's like what the fuck, like come on, like that's really what you guys like. I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean during the draft it was like the Kings got Lias Anderson for their 60th pick or the 60th overall,
yeah.
which is crazy because Lias Anderson was the 7th in 2017. Um and like what there was picks traded in the Bonino trade, which or for this draft was Luke Kunin and then 101st overall for Nick Bonino and then the 37th and 70th. But I don't know. I just wanted something cool to happen.
Yeah, I mean there was some cool moments, but it had nothing to do with like hockey. Like the one, like, I mean, the cool moment, like with the Sharks, with their first round pick, I forgot what his name was, but his mom's death.
Oh,
So
Ozzy Weissblatt.
yeah, so Doug Wilson Jr., who made the pick, made sure to do sign language that they were selecting him. Like that right there, that was really fucking cool. That was a really cool thing for him to do and like step up like that.
Alex Trebek.
Yeah,
Alex
Senators.
Trebek. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, like, I mean, there was cool little moments like that, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's, whatever. I mean, like Toronto, it was just funny little things too. Toronto drafted a kid today who plays in Finland, and when his name got picked, he was in the middle of a game. Like, that's shit's kind of funny to hear, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, other than that, yeah, NHL draft's big snooze fest usually. But
I really wanted it to be like you know how some teams are struggling with like cap reasons to be like, hey, we have a trade to announce. It's like this player with like this huge contract is now going to this team in exchange for like a couple picks, and it's like, oh shit, like they moved that guy, and it's like, nope, nobody did anything. We're just buying people out this year, and it's like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, there's a list of buyouts, that's for sure. Talk about another thing too that kind of like. Totally. I mean, you got to understand because of the virtual draft and the pandemic and all that. But it's like, man, I felt so bad for watching those kids have to like watch on delay that they got drafted and all that kind of stuff. Like they don't get that moment like of going up on the stage, getting the jersey, getting that picture taken and all that kind of stuff. Like Lafreniere, his family needed to calm down when they showed him getting drafted. Like so much energy in that room.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it sounds great too. Because then if you have it on the TV, then you're like watching your own reaction.
Yeah.
Like, especially when the ones where like they hadn't heard it yet, and you just kind of were watching the screen as they're just like sitting there waiting.
Yeah, there's a couple times where they're like, "Well, the only people in the world that don't know that this kid was just drafted is him himself." Yeah, like watching himself.
What was was it Anton Lundell who wore a heart rate monitor? I believe it was, when he got drafted. There's like a video online, you can find it. I think Noli sent it to us, or you might have sent it. Or you might not even remember. But it was the kid Anton Lundell who got drafted to Florida. And like they just on the little video, it shows like his heart rate shoot up from like 70 beats per minute to like 110, and it's fucking cool as hell. And then there's another, what was it? There's that other story that I was telling you where like some kid got drafted to Calgary, but like a later round pick, and he was at practice in like the USHL, like for like the Lincoln North Stars or some shit. And like they just like stopped practice to tell him that he got drafted.
It's just like, yeah, it's just a totally weird, like, I mean, some of these guys are in season playing and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, imagine if you are playing and you get drafted and you're like, do I get off the ice? Like, do I not risk it? Like, what's going on, kind of thing.
Yeah. Am I supposed to report to training camp now?
Yeah,
what am I? I'm on a team already. What's going on? But yeah, it's a shitty thing.
Any like big losers or winners you saw out of the draft this year, team wise?
No, I mean, I guess from what I hear is just watching, it's like the draft is like so deep that it's like hard to really find losers. I guess Arizona, because they chose to fuck up a lot of shit and didn't get anybody till the fourth round.
I know.
But I mean,
Toronto's not happy with their first pick because the guy is under contract with his team overseas for I think another 2 years or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, cool, we wasted a pick on a guy who can't even play for us for 2 years at least. But I was hearing a lot though too. Like they were saying like it was a deep draft, but they weren't saying many guys were NHL ready. Like,
I think it's just a lot of potential.
Yeah, so it's like I think after Lafreniere, there's really nobody that not nobody, but they're just he's the only one that they say can step up right now and play in the NHL tomorrow type of thing.
Oh yeah, no, like he's the only one that's going to step up and be great in the NHL. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like Detroit always likes to like. While we were following the draft and just like, was it Friedman sends a tweet and is just like, Detroit's throwing a curveball here. It's like, yeah, man, that's what Yzerman does. Like, did Moritz Seider, like, and nobody was expecting that one too. It's
yeah.
like, but he definitely knows something that we don't, because he did it a lot when he was in Tampa as well. And look at that team he put together.
Yeah. Does he get a ring?
No, he's already got 3. It's fine.
So yeah, let's switch over to the Hawks picks a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't get our wish. Didn't get our goal in the first round.
It's all right.
I knew, we were texting too, and I'm like, I know it's not going to happen, but every time his name doesn't get called, my hopes get up a little bit, only to know they're going to get crushed.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of hoping maybe like the Hawks trade up and do something, but whatever.
It's like, it's more like, what got even more infuriating about that too is they're talking about it and they're like, Pierre is like, I don't bring out the Carey Price comparison often, and I don't take that lightly, but this kid is up there, and I'm just like come on, like, don't like kick me while I'm down. Like, I was ready to invest in a goalie and back a goalie and be a goalie guy, and it just nothing.
I mean, it sucks that he's in Nashville.
That's too. Like, I thought it was gonna be Minnesota. Honestly, I thought
we're
Minnesota.
Gonna have to play him so much. That would suck if he was in Minnesota. I just like, I don't know, Minnesota. I just want to like crash and burn, and Nashville. I just kind of like just don't want to be good. There's a little bit of a difference between the two. Yeah, man. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, he's like, sure, he projects to be really good, but you never know. Anything can happen.
I love your text too. We're going back and forth, and it's like this entire time, oh my God, I want this guy. Oh, he's gonna be so good. And your first text after he gets drafted, I hope he's a flop. Like how quickly on a dime it changes.
Yeah, dude, fuck that shit. If it was Carolina, I would have been fine with it. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, we got Lucas Reichel though, the 17th overall pick.
Not a sexy pick. Projected to be like a line 2, line 3 winger kind of.
Two-way.
Good two-way player. It's gonna grind it out, and I mean, which is what we need. We need that. We don't have that presence, and that's like a big hole in this team.
So I've watched and looked up a bunch of just like breakdowns of his play, and there's a lot of positives. And I think one of my favorites was I was watching this video from the YouTube is called Scouching. This guy's last name is Scouch, and it's kind of like scouting from your couch kind of a thing.
Okay.
And he does like a very good in-depth like read into it, and he like tracks the like certain games and stuff like that. And he said in his like wrap up, which is like he's going to be a solid player, but he said in his wrap up that he had the highest like most danger shot chances per 60 with like 17. He had the highest in the draft class, and the second one was Lafreniere, who was just a touch over 14. Okay. And so like nobody came close to his high danger chance shots like per 60. And I was like, okay, like the kid knows how to get open. He knows how to get the puck to the net. He doesn't have like a crazy spectacular shot, but he is very good at passing, and he's got great speed. And it's like, that's awesome.
That's what this game's turned into. That, like,
yeah, I'm down with it. And like I had sent you guys the video, but you didn't watch it. But there's a highlight video of when the Hawks played their exhibition game against the team that he's on at the beginning of the year. And like in the highlight video, there's even a part of the clip where Foley mentions that the Hawks head of scouting, or just like this European scout, thinks so highly of this kid. And you're like, oh shit, like they've been like really fucking going after this kid. And like I don't think they really gave a shit where they were drafting. Like I honestly, if we still picked 9th or 10th, they might have still taken him there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, what makes me like, not okay with it, but like what makes me like this pick though too, and have confidence in this pick, is like we've talked about on the show how well our European and like foreign scouts do. So it's like the homework is done. Like you're saying, the homework's done, and it's like, you know what? If they think he's good, I mean, if they that strongly about this kid, where he made an impression on them at the preseason game last year, then it's like this kid's gonna potentially be something special. Is he going to be a Kirby
Yeah.
Doc? Is he going to be a Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves? No, but he's going to definitely be that great secondary player that this team's going to need once this core moves on.
He's going to be a good complementary piece, and honestly, if that's what it's going to be for like somebody like Doc, like that's going to be fantastic. And like that's the thing with last year where we got Doc third, and I was like, oh, like I didn't think that. I mean, I was listening to all the other analysts, and then it's like Doc looks like he's going to probably be one of the best players out of that fucking draft.
Yeah,
like he doesn't look like he should have been a clear third when comparing to Hughes or Kakko at this point. Like he looks like he could have probably been a top.
Yeah,
and man, I am so excited for that kid. Every time I mention him, I get jazzed up. So, but yeah, like everybody that gets mad about like them not taking like the sexier names that were still out there, it's kind of like, yeah, but they do a great job drafting anyway. Like
I don't think though, like at the point,
kind of shown
yeah,
it.
I don't think
and
there
like,
really
in
was
the first round.
There really wasn't a sexier pick or sexier name at that point at 17.
Oh,
I think
there was. I forgot what the kids' names were,
I don't know
but
if it
I
was
can
like
pull it up real quick.
I don't know if it was like make or break though. Like,
I mean, what was the one? There was the kid that went to the Capitals that was Hendrix Lapierre,
yeah,
who is supposed to be like a really good, really, really good player, but he's got like concussion issues and like injury history. And I don't know. There's some kids that dropped, like Connor Zari. There's a few that dropped into the second round and even the third that were projected to go like top 20. And I was like, no shit. Like, but either way, like, I trust the Hawks.
it was a
with
safe.
drafting.
I mean, yeah, it was safe. It was a safe pick to do. No big injury history. Like, yeah, that Lapierre, or what was it? Was it Lapierre?
Yeah, Lapierre.
Yeah. I mean, like the more they were talking about him, like, oh, when he's healthy, blah blah blah. But I'm like, we already have players that have deal with concussion issues and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, why take that on type of thing? It's like go with a player that's healthy.
Yeah, he's a high risk, high reward kind of guy. And like Reichel, I feel like they kind of know the path that they're getting with him.
I'm thinking like toss Reichel with like Kubalik and like Kubalik or Doc, like, and him just fucking mucking it up and getting that puck over. Oh
yeah, that'd be sexy.
And then we did get our goalie in the second round.
Yeah, he was rated as like the second or third best goalie in the draft, which, if there's one clear cut first guy, like there's no problem with having the second or thirds in that draft. Like they're probably decent, or assuming that Askarov's not in the draft, then maybe he might have been number one in most drafts. I don't know. I didn't look into him like super hard. So
he is the NHL Central Scouting ranked. He was ranked second among North American goaltenders. He had a 2.05 goals against average and a 920 save percentage, including 3 shutouts in 30 games for the USA Development Program under 18 team. He catches left-handed, so it's still a weirdo.
No, he's not. Askarov catches right-handed. He's the weird one.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, never mind. Fuck. That's a whole funny thing too. Like we're talking about like a full. I was like, oh, right and full right, and Stu's like, what's the difference between a full right? And I'm like, you're a full right, a lefty catch, and he's like, so you can't just call them lefties? And we're like,
no, it's regular. Yeah, regular and full right. I don't understand.
Like it's so funny, but 6'2", 180 pound. I think he's committed to. Did you say he was committed to Boston University?
Yeah.
And he admired Tim Thomas growing up, and I think he was a
huge Boston fan.
Yeah. He even said, he goes, I think I cried in 2013 at that loss. Like, so that's hilarious. Unless it's some big sabotage job from him, but he's not going to be. I mean, he's really young. He's not going to come into play probably for 4 to 6 years, maybe.
Yeah. that's what goalies take, man. Like he's gonna be at Boston University. Also, I forgot that like Jake Wise and Alec Vlasic were there, so he's gonna be with some Blackhawks prospects, which will be cool. But yeah, he'll probably play however many years there, and then step up to the A. and then get a shot. So, like, goalies rarely ever take a couple of years to slot right in.
I mean,
unless you're like Carter Hart, Catahat, 21 years old, Catahat.
I mean, Marc-Andre was fairly young when he stepped up.
Yeah, he was a first overall pick, though.
Yeah, so, so it's like it was a good pick because it like kind of gives us like an answer like, okay, well, here's something we could potentially be looking forward to in a couple of years. It doesn't solve the immediate goaltending issue, but at least they're looking into that direction, which is
what they absolutely needed to do.
Yeah. And yeah, so I don't want to go through every pick just because the Hawks had a decent amount of them, but anybody else that really stood out to you?
I mean, not entirely. Like this is when I kind of was just like seeing who they were and like seeing like getting a gist of like what they are about. I mean, nothing really jumps out too crazy besides the one kid, Isaac Phillips, played internationally for Jamaica. And then their last pick in the 7th round is like 6'8". It's like, oh shit, all right. It's like you always got to toss out just get the big guy.
Yeah.
see if he becomes Chara at some point. Like, all right.
Wyatt Kaiser's a pretty cool pick too. I think he was like the highest ranked defenseman out of high school. Out of high school.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he's 6 foot, 173 pounds, so he's definitely got to put in some weight. But NHL Central Scouting has been comparing him to Duncan Keith.
No shit.
Dynamic heads up, feet moving defenseman. Had 11 goals and 32 assists for his high school team last season, and also played for Team USA under 18 squad at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup or whatever it's called.
Okay, yeah. That'd be neat.
Yeah, Minnesota
I'll pay attention
native.
To that kid, then.
Yeah.
Is he committed to anywhere?
UMD.
Oh yeah. Minnesota Duluth. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
They took a lot of defensemen again.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's always defensemen, but good for them.
See all these defensemen being drafted, and it's just like I feel like Boquist and all these guys are just kind of like looking over their shoulder, like for that secret trade that's gonna fucking Yoki Hart. They're gonna get Yoki Harut or something.
Yeah,
better not.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, so I mean the Hawks, they didn't do terrible. They didn't do great. I think they had a decent draft. They addressed a couple needs. They got a couple guys that'll be really interesting to watch in a couple years. It's funny watching drafts now because you kind of can see the direction that they're starting to set up for the post Kane, post Taves, post Keith, post Siebes era, and it's just kind of it's really interesting being able to like watch these guys because it's like we've both been deep into hockey our entire lives, but I think this is like the first time that we've both kind of like have known the reality of like developing and drafting players and all that kind of stuff. Like with the original core, it's like, okay, I know who these guys are, but I didn't watch where they came from or how they came up. Right. And it's like now we're getting a firsthand look at that kind of stuff to a new possible core, which is I think kind of a cool feeling a little bit.
Yeah, I like it's really, like you said, it's pretty cool to know and follow it now because we'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when they drafted him at that time, and like getting really excited about prospects without like when Kane was drafted, like I was still only like 18. I was in high school. I didn't know shit of any prospects that we had.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. I was like, oh shit, yeah, we got first overall. Fuck yeah. And I wasn't paying attention. I was like, oh yeah, Patrick Kane? Sounds good. Like, like, oh cool. He's like the best player in the fucking world. In my world.
I think the only reason like Taves and Kane was like known right away for us was because the Hawks shoved them down our throats with their marketing and they're like trying to build the team back up. So it's really cool. Yeah, really cool to kind of experience.
I legit didn't even follow the draft before Kane got drafted, and I didn't even follow that draft. Yeah. But when I went to the first game for the season and Kane was playing, and they're like, yeah, Taves isn't playing, and I was like, oh, like he's supposed to be pretty good too, right? And they're like, yeah, we got him third last year. I was like, Oh, dope. It's like I didn't even know we had third pick. Like I didn't pay attention to the draft like at all. It's fucking hilarious.
And my last like thing on the draft, it blows my mind that these kids were like 2002 birth years.
Yeah, man.
God, God, so fucking old.
Yeah, it's rough, but it's fun.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, so we talked about a couple trades. Like we talked about Matt Murray already going to Ottawa. A couple other trades that happened. Minnesota was busy. They traded let's
which
see.
one do you want to go with?
Yeah. Look at the one I have right here. Bonino to the Wild.
Yep.
The Wild got Bonino. Then they sent, who did they send again?
They got Luke Kunin.
Luke Kunin, who's a young, solid
in
player.
Nashville now. Yeah, he's 22. Bonino's 32. But I don't know. The Wild ended up getting the 37 and 70. It's like, oh, okay. Thought Luke Kunin was like one of their better young players. He had 31 points last season, so we'll see what happens there. But watch Kunin just fucking light it up in Nashville now.
Then they on the 5th, so that was Monday. They've shipped in two separate trades.
Same team.
Yeah, the same team. Devin Dubnyk and a 2022 7th round pick in exchange for a 2022 5th round pick.
Not to mention, Dubnyk was 50% retained as well.
It was 50?
Yeah, 50% retained. So that's a good one. I'm trying to remember just off the top of my head if Dubnyk has more than 1 year left, but I think it might just be one, possibly two.
I'll look it up if you want to talk about the other trade.
No, I got it right here. Yeah, Dubnyk has 1 year left, so they're only paying 2.17 on his last year. In Jesus, this goalie tandem though, how great is that? Martin Jones and Devin Dubnyk.
So you have an aging core. You have your cap situation's fucked, and you still are determined to win a Stanley Cup. So you rock Dubnyk and Jones as your AB.
Yep. Solid stuff, huh?
God.
Let's see.
Doug Wilson, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
There's another one. Actually, a trade that I think is really cool is the Columbus trade, where they got Max Domi and a third for Josh Anderson.
In a third, right?
No. Just Domi and a third for Josh Anderson.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, they both had down seasons. Anderson didn't play, like, I don't know, half the season really, but he only had 4 points in, like, 20-something games. And then Domi had 44 when last year he had, like, 81 or some shit.
Yeah.
But Domi, I feel like Domi in fucking Columbus with Torts is gonna be
that's
real good.
Saying. Oh, that's like Torts' like dream player right there. Like the style, the grit, the anger, and all that kind of stuff. Like,
I think they were talking about it on NHL Network. Like during the draft, they were talking about that trade a little bit. I don't remember if it was that or I was hearing like analysts talk about the trade and how it's going to be such a good fit for Domi because like they were trying to force him to play wing in Montreal, but he's a center. Yeah. And so he's going to end up getting that second line center spot behind Pierre-Luc Dubois, who's a fucking beast. And it's just like, yeah, he's going to probably thrive.
I don't know how Columbus does it, but they always find a way to like, when you think they're going to be totally fucked and lose like major pieces, they find a way to still compete. Like,
yeah,
they might become
they're fun to watch.
They might become my East team. Fuck Toronto, man.
And then the Hawks also made a trade.
Also re-signed him though. We didn't bring that up. They re-signed him for 2 years. I think it's like a total of 10.
Yeah, 10.4, I think.
Yeah,
5.2 a year.
5.3 is his cap hit.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so the Hawks made a trade. The Hawks decided to just get rid of Olimata, basically, in exchange for Brad Morrison, who spent last year in the ECHL. Oh, to the Kings, by the way.
Yeah, to the Kings. It was a straight up cap move. The Hawks are retaining what was it,
750,000.
Yeah, 108. So I mean, it gave them the space that they need to re-sign a couple guys. It's still a little I'm still a little bit confused how it works with Siebes and Shaw on IR still.
They're not on IR. If you
Cap
go
Friendly,
to
they are.
if I know, but if you go to Cap Friendly, which my favorite site, and you go to projected LTIR used, it's at $0. And if you really wanted to, you can just go down the where forwards, defensemen, and everything are, and goalie, and just go to the total for 2020, 2021, and add it all up with the LTI, with Siebes and Shaw and LTIR, and you're going to get the exact number that they have.
They're not on LTIR.
No, they're a part of the projected cap hit right now.
Oh, so that
70
is
million.
projected. Okay.
So they do have 11.2 million in cap space still. And
it's
they
still not gonna be enough.
It will. It absolutely will. They didn't qualify Kajula or Kuku or Malcolm Subban. They also didn't qualify some of their RFA minor league guys.
The biggest name they didn't qualify was Fortin.
Yeah, I mean Alexander Fortin, Jacob Nilsson, Yanni Tuolola, and Ian McCoshen, which
those. I mean, I'm
not a big deal.
Well, like we were saying though too, I'm bummed out about Fortin. I liked him. He started off really fucking hot when he came in that first year after he was drafted and all that, but I mean he never really clicked and he never really got his opportunity, so that doesn't shock me. I mean, yeah, it is enough, but it's we still need so much.
Yeah, but the thing is, the main goal now is to sign a goalie, whether it's Crawford or not, and then sign Strome and Kubalik. And having 11.2 to do that is not bad, because if you think about it, we still have those guys coming in from Europe, like I said before, and then we have all the young defensemen that we have now 1 or 2 spots open for on the defensive end. And that's great. Don't use all 11.2. If anything, sign somebody that's older that can slot in as or be scratched most of the time or something like that.
Which I got a couple lists of guys that I want to ask who you think, but it's tough. It's tough to look at that because it's what is Kubalik what are they gonna give Kubalik, and then is it going to be Crawford? And if it's not going to be Crawford, what are you going to have to pay for a UFA to come in? That's I mean, it could potentially, if everything works out perfectly, it's plenty of money. But at the same time, you don't really know what the demand's going to be. And that's the hardest thing too. It might just get your raised up, and it'll be tough to stay under, I think. But at least it's 3. At least it's 3 main people that you got to worry about, and that's a lot better.
With how many goalies that are going to free agency too, it's you see where a couple pieces drop, and then you start to get an idea where the market's at, and it's going to not be super high because of the flat cap. So,
Lundqvist is potentially off the market. He's supposed to be going to Washington. Capitals. So that I kind of wonder. Hey, Holtby. Want a cheap 1-year deal, and
yeah, he's 30 years old. He doesn't want that at all. We'll see, though. I mean,
look how we're top for Lehner.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, I could be wrong. Lehner did that, but yeah, man, I don't know. It's going to be interesting when free agency opens up here in 2 days.
Well, Cap Friendly's got the countdown as of recording right now.
It's
1 day, 14 hours, 49 minutes, and 8 seconds.
So let's get that shit going.
We talked about the qualifying offers that the Hawks gave and didn't give out. So there's a couple guys there's a ton of names that are being announced. They had to be qualified today by 5 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a bunch of guys that have been bought out over the last couple days. Just to name a couple few from the buyouts, you got Alsner, Applicator, Jack Johnson. Not qualified, you have Hayden, Declare, and Hinostroza. Any of those names kind of stick out to you? Is because I mean they're all potentially cheap options.
I mean, I love John Hayden, and I will always love John Hayden just for the fact that he destroyed Marcus Foligno's eye socket in a fight. And it got me so pumped, and it still does. I love that shit. Yeah, I mean, Hinostroza would be awesome to bring back, like Chicago area kid. But I don't know.
Duclair, I wouldn't mind Duclair back.
I'm surprised. I don't understand why they didn't re-sign Duclair. Didn't he like lead their team in fucking goals, or like was it up there?
He had like 40 points, I think, like 41 points.
He was an all-star this year.
Yeah,
he was like almost the MVP at the All-Star game too. Let's see how many fucking goals did he put up this year? 23 goals, 17 assists in 66 games. I don't know. I think there must be just something wrong, man. Like he's jumping around all over the place. The team doesn't want to sign him.
Ottawa. I was about to say, are they just not qualifying anybody because they're trying to make a big splash in free agency? I'm like, they could have qualified him. They have projected cap space, $42 million, like just over $42 million in cap space.
Yeah, but they got to sign Lafreniere for $40 million. So
Ottawa?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. They're trying to
get. Like,
what? They're trying to not have anybody on that team. I don't know. Who knows what Ottawa's doing, man?
So I don't know.
I don't see the Hawks going after any
big names,
big name free agents. Not when they're trying to grow their like prospects and save on cap right now because they're going to need it.
Yeah, if it's going to be like these small name guys, like I can definitely see Hinostroza coming back.
It's got to be. I don't see them offering anybody more than 1 or 2 years. Like I said, like last week, that's where all of their contracts are ending. 1 or 2 years, and then we have all new everything.
I think a lot of teams, even the big name guys, I think a lot of guys are going to take 1-2 year deal. They kind of like are deals that will last up until the point of when they're projecting the cap's going to start going up again. Like, I think a lot of these guys are like going to just do what they can to like, so they can keep playing, but then wait a couple years so they can get their big ticket. Like, that's why I'm very curious to see what happens with Taylor Hall. Like, he was set up to get paid. I don't think he deserves to get paid as much as people say. I mean, he's a great player, but that's another story. But I'm like, that sucks for him when everybody's just talking about, oh my God, this guy's about to get paid. This guy's about to get paid. And then all of a sudden, nope, flat cap where nobody's spending money. Like, that sucks.
Like, I can see that this is the time that maybe you do a little cup chasing rather than late in your career. You know, you take that cheaper deal. You do a little Solani Korea deal for the Avalanche and take a mill.
Dude, I was gonna say he takes a mill for like Buffalo, not Buffalo, Boston,
Buffalo.
or Boston, Tampa. Like, Tampa's not really taking anybody. I think they're trying to be like take our shit away from us.
I think if Tampa were to get Taylor Hall for $1 million, to be like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, there's no income tax there, man. That's a big million. That's.
Jesus, I'm trying to I don't know. I don't have any like indication of like where anybody's going to be going besides like what we heard with Hank.
Yeah. Okay? So since it's hard to really make prediction because like there's no news coming out at all. Like nothing. What do you want to see happen? Like whether it's for the Hawks or it's for like another team or a certain player. Like what do you want to see on Friday?
I just don't want the Hawks to do anything stupid. That's basically it. Like I hope that they can get these guys signed. I honestly hope they can get Crawford signed. If anything, I hope they don't spend too much on a free agent goalie then. Especially if it's somebody like older as well. Like if they went out and got Markstrom, I would be like really confused because he's like, I mean, he's 28-ish, I think, but it's like, where does he fit in? And him probably wanting close to like 7 million for a long-term deal. Like, why would that make sense? But like, I can always just be surprised because like last year I was like out and about and I get like a notification. I was like, oh, Robin Lehner got signed by the Hawks, and I was like, what? Like, where did we get the money to sign a Vezina finalist? And it's like, oh, 1 year, $5 million. It's like, why would he do that? And it's like, oh, it's so confusing. And so like, you don't know the stories of like why these guys aren't signed in other places, and the Hawks just are like, hey, we'll toss you some money if you want to come hang out for a year. You want to be a little trade bait during the trade deadline.
I mean, if they're gonna do something like that, I do hope they do it like it's a long-term deal. It's not like this 1 year, $5 million bullshit thing. Like if they're gonna sign a young guy,
oh yeah,
like if it's gonna be a young guy, like yeah, fucking of course. If you're gonna do it, go all in. But don't do this like pussyfooting around and like 1 year, $5 million to fucking Craig Anderson or like.
Well, I was actually just going to say, because it made me think about this when I mentioned, like trade bait guy that's clearly going to be gone at the trade deadline that has some value. It's like, I can see them making that kind of a move. Like you bring in a guy that has value with a 1 year deal, knowing that like he can only up his value probably. And then maybe you get like a second or third rounder at the trade deadline. It's like, I can see that happening, but I don't really know any players off the top of my head that would be fitting that role.
If you do that, if Bowman does that again, though, do you think kind of GMs are going to be like, oh, no, fuck you. Like, you can deal with that. We're not going to.
Then we just finished the year out with a guy that who cares? Like, it's a 1 year deal. Like, now I'm back at the cap friendly.
I know. I mean,
like, oh my God, let's see. Who could we sign a 1 year deal? Like, I don't know, like a Carl Soderberg. But he was making almost $5 million. I don't know. He'd probably still be pretty expensive. Like, who would be cheap? Michael Frolik? You get somebody that you can get for maybe like $2.5-3 million.
Galchenyuk keeps getting like touched with us. Like,
oh, really? With us?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people talking about that he might be an option. But
actually, you know who I wanted? I want Michael Grabner.
Yeah.
Because that man is fast as shit.
And he got bought out, so he might be willing to take that cheap ticket.
Yeah. He literally is he's good on the penalty kill. He gets a lot of short-handed breakaways and shit. Like, that'd be fantastic. Michael Grabner would be dope. Let's get Michael Grabner on a 1 year deal. Sign it. Let's go. But that's what I can see. I can see just like not like a big splash, but like some guys that could be trade bait or help us to possibly get like a playoff seed.
What about Khudobin?
I think Dallas is still trying to re-sign him. I think that was like their main goal. I wonder if like they're going to move on from Bishop.
2.5 is his cap hit. That's definitely going to go up a little bit after the playoffs.
Yeah, he definitely played himself into a good spot there. But who knows? This is why it's the exciting part of the year, man.
Mike Smith.
Oh my God. The Hawks better stay away from Mike Smith with a 10-foot pole. But yeah, I don't know.
Dell.
I'm trying to see what Ben Bishop's cap hit is. Ben Bishop, 3 years left, almost 5. No, thank you. Okay, that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many players available, but it's like a lot of guys that just don't make sense for the Hawks in general. And it's like a lot of guys, it's going to be really weird too, because I think there's going to be some names that you'd expect to be signed with somebody and playing for somebody in the league still that might be sitting for a little bit because teams just don't have that space, or if whatever space that they're put into, they're going to put on players that like they're younger guys. So it's like, it's going to start seeing these like older guys are going to be forced out.
Or they're just going to have to take deals that are just under what they thought they were going to get. Like, I feel like that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of holdout.
Joe Thornton needs to call Boston and say, hey, league minimum, let's go. Let's get a cup because I ain't getting that with the Sharks.
I hope he's not getting it with Boston either.
I want him to win one, but I also don't.
Not with Boston.
No, because the two teams that he would do it with, I can see him going for.
Dallas.
You think he would go to Dallas?
Go hang out with Joe Pavelski in Dallas. All the West Coast older guys are going to Dallas. They got no state income tax.
How about Kovalchuk?
Dallas. all my friends go to Dallas.
They're the greatest, like, early 2000 hockey team in the world.
Dallas is always in on everybody. I don't know how they do it.
Like, there's so many teams that are like they're always like, oh, this team's looking at this player, this team's looking at this player, and it's always the same teams that. How the fuck are they paying for these guys? Where are they getting the money to do this?
Well, that's what they're saying now with, like, anytime a goalie's mentioned, it's like the Blackhawks are in on this goalie. It's like, yeah, man, the Blackhawks need a goalie. Of course they're in on every goalie. What the fuck?
Okay, not saying for the Blackhawks, but what do you think happens with Marc-Andre?
I don't know. I hope he doesn't come here.
I saw a report that I don't know if it was Vegas was asking for, or people, I think it was Vegas was asking for a first round, a second round, and telling they'll retain 33% of his cap hit.
No. Vegas is fucked.
Yeah. Vegas is like $3 million over right now.
Yeah, they can't just, like, claim this shit. Like, they have no right, and no one's going to do them any favors. Like, they're going to get fleeced. Then that's what's going to happen. Like, that's the shit that happened to us. Like, nobody's going to help you when they know that they don't have to help you.
Especially after what they pulled off at the expansion draft. And I can't wait for Seattle. Oh, my God. Oh, I got Petrangelo, too. Jesus Christ. There's so many big names. That are that should be getting paid that are not going to.
See, the thing with Petrangelo is he's already won a cup, so he could just go to, like, one of these worst teams, like Detroit or Ottawa, and if they'll pay him,
wouldn't be bad in Detroit.
Whatever, goes from St. Louis to Detroit, and fuck him.
Right, I mean.
We'll see. I like I said, I keep saying over and over again, I'm excited. It starts in
it's really exciting.
Less than 2 days.
And then I don't know how we didn't talk about this yet. Then Bettman before the draft, first round of the draft, was saying, this is almost like an hour into the show. We're finally bringing this up. Probably the most important piece of a hockey podcast is, the actual hockey playing itself. Yeah, says that they are focusing on January 1st as the target for this 20. Well, I guess it would be the 21 season at that point.
Yeah.
Then he even said, though, they're still focused on playing a full season. I don't know how the fuck that happens.
I don't know. But,
like, how do you, like,
it's just it's an extended season.
Your revenue's fucked. Your revenue's fucked regardless. You try to do a full season where if you can't have fans, you're not going to have full capacity. So the ticket sales aren't going to be there. It's going to cost these teams a lot more money to play a full season next year. Do the lockout schedule. Do the lockout schedule. Get back on the normal schedule, and call it a day. Like,
yeah, it'd be great.
And the Hawks did fantastic in lockout. The Hawks did so well in the lockout schedule. We could do it again.
Yeah, but that's because they were Taze was having everybody train. Yeah.
Fuck. All right. I need hockey. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped that I'm watching more commercials during the draft about NHL 21, and they keep showing stuff about the Be a Pro, and I'm like, fuck, I'm actually kind of pumped up for that. Like,
yeah, that game's coming out soon.
Yeah, next week.
I'll be playing it. So,
oh yeah,
there we go.
PS4, what's up?
Yeah.
We also got to figure out fantasy, how we're gonna determine that, get that done.
True.
Or we just gonna do no champion and really piss Roy off.
Yeah, I mean, I have the teams made, so okay.
Just do it on Twitch.
We could probably talk about this outside the podcast. All right.
Well, if you listen to that far, congratulations and sorry for our
we definitely just rambled like forever. Yeah. It's like, oh man.
All right, so that was episode 111. What is it called?
Jesus,
you were off your game, man.
Get
back to Chicago. Focus.
Yeah, dude, it's this is hot ass Mexican air. New Mexican air. The online draft.
The online draft. All right. So for Tanner and Jarom, we will see you next week with definitely a lot of news, and looking forward to it. And hopefully something fun. And let's go.
All right. See ya. Love ya, boys.